The 2.4 update has brought in one of the more unique events that Wuthering Waves has ever had, and it's the all-out towards the peak of prestige, which is literally an echo card dueling event. And after playing it on stream and posting a couple of short videos about it, I got plenty of comments saying, what deck are you using? I'm stuck on this character. What do you recommend using? So I'm going to show off the deck that I use. Note that the deck I'm using can really only be acquired near the end of the main story of the event, so keep that in mind. Now, I've played around with a couple of different decks, and I'm not going to say the one that I'm using is meta. There's definitely some really interesting and powerful decks out there, especially with, you know, the Barangle being able to heal your entire team over time, which is nice. You basically just have to either drop them first or overpower them. But the one I'm using is Fallacy No Return with a focus on the Havoc and Spectro cards. Now, the main thing with Fallacy is that all you have to do is transform 5 times, which is dragging that card into the middle as long as it has a transform buff. And if you're really lucky, you can do this on the first round, but it's very easy to achieve this by the second round. Now, the top 3 most important cards are going to be number 1, Diggy Duggy. As long as you transform, you get to draw 3 cards. So having this in your first hand is almost a guarantee to get the cards that you want. The second one is Havoc Warrior, and the reason it's so important is because when you modulate this echo or drag another card on top of it, you can continue dragging cards on top of this an unlimited amount of times or until your cards run out. Normally, you can only stack 2 of the quote-unquote 1-cost cards, and then you have to stack a 3-stack. With this one, you can just keep stacking the 1-cost cards. And the third one is going to be the Nimbus Wraith. So, when you modulate this echo and activate the perk Recharge, you gain 1 point of energy each time you use Transform. And again, we're going to be using Transform a lot anyway. We might as well have the energy points to play more cards. Some other important cards include the Fission Junrock, which when you transform it, it displays 3 1-cost echoes from your deck, so then you can just choose one of them, which is going to help a lot, especially in the beginning. The Saber Boar, so when you transform it, you actually gain 3 points of energy, so being able to stack this with the Nimbus Wraith will give you a lot of energy points. With the Diamond Claw, when you modulate this echo, you get to draw 2 cards, and its perk is pretty good too. The Dwarf Cassowary is really good because when you transform it, it gives all of your echoes a strength increase of 1 for the next round. And for your last 1-cost, you have 3 options in my opinion, either Hocus Pocus, which is nice because if you modulate this echo last before you go in, it gets a +2 to strength and +1 to con, which is very nice. Chop Chop Leftless is pretty good because when you transform it, you can actually reduce the strength of an opponent's echo by 2 for the next round, which can be really nice. Or you can choose the Vanguard Junrock, which does the same thing as the Diamond Claw, but it does have a different perk. And for my 2 3-cost, I'm choosing the Diurnus Knight and Light Crusher. With the Diurnus Knight, when you use Transform, it increases the strength of all your echoes by 2 for the next round, and it doesn't get consumed. It actually gets shuffled back into your deck, which means you can continue using it for future rounds. And with the Light Crusher, when you modulate this echo, you get 1 Diurnus Knight in your hand and you gain 1 energy. So that means you can keep having the Knights, which keeps giving you strength, which is going to make the Light Crusher and any of your other echoes stronger. Now I'm going to hop into Endless Challenge just on normal to show you this as an example, and note that the character I'm using is actually Xiangli Yao. Now the reason Xiangli Yao is so important is because his passive, you draw 1 additional card at the start of the first 3 rounds, which means you have a better chance at getting the cards you need set up, and I'm going to show you how to do that when we get to playing. And his active tactic is pretty good too. So for 2 energy, you basically can choose a card to have in your hand for the next round. So let's just hop in and show you how to do this. Again, it is kind of the luck of the draw with what cards you get, but if set up correctly, you can get pretty lucky. We have the Bear, which is definitely one of the ones we want. Now we just need the Havoc Warrior and the Nimbus Wraith. And we didn't get either, which is okay. We solve our draw 3, which is totally fine. Okay, so now we have Nimbus Wraith. Again, all we need to do is transform 5 times, and we can summon Fallacy, which is going to be very nice. So, again, we're going to use our Diggy Duggy for the draw 3. Transform, put them in the middle. Still don't have a Havoc Warrior, unfortunately. So we're going to use our second one here. Kind of stinks we're using both right off the bat. Still didn't get a Havoc Warrior. So now we can just sacrifice a card. I'm just going to sacrifice a Light Crusher here because I'm not going to use it on this first round anyway. Then we're going to use this guy, Fission Junrock. So if we transform it, we can choose a 1-cost echo. And again, no Havoc Warrior. I'm getting so unlucky. Give me another one. We can sacrifice the Diurnus Knight. I'm not going to be using him this first round anyway. Use our second one, and we finally get a Havoc Warrior. This is what we want. So, I'm going to sacrifice one of the hands because I don't need it. I'm going to transform the boar so I get 3 energy. So now I have 3 in total. Again, I used 1. Got to keep that in mind. So now we want to have our Havoc Warrior first. Drag onto the Havoc Warrior the Nimbus Wraith. So now we have the versatility perk activated, which means we can unlimited stack echoes on this guy. And then we want to drag our Diamond Claw here. So now we just draw 2 because of the perk, and we also gain recharge, so when I use Transform, I can get a point back, which is very nice. So for example, I'm not going to use my Endurance Knight or the Light Crusher this round, so if anything, I'm going to weaken one of my enemy echoes, and we transform 5 times on the first round, which means we can summon Fallacy, which is kind of insane already, literally the first round, and then we'll use the Dwarf Cassowary to transform and give him a strength boost. There we go. Round 1, already have Fallacy on the field. So we should do 11 damage to him, to his life points. So that's already a third of the way down, which is kind of insane. All right, so now we have our Havoc Warrior again, and this girl, the Nimbus Wraith. And honestly, all I'm going to do is sacrifice both of my Knights to use the skill to save my other Nimbus Wraith for the next hand. So if I get another Havoc Warrior, I can have my third body up here. Now, I'm going to put Fallacy in front of the big Knight on his end for obvious reasons. So I had 1 friendly drop, which means I think we're only going to do 10. Yeah. Totally fine. Okay. This worked out perfectly. So now I'm going to move my Fallacy to the back line here. I am going to sacrifice the hand, drag the Light Crusher on. Then I'll use the energy here because now I have 2 recharges, so I get a lot back, plus the 3 from the boar, and that means I can use the Havoc Warrior, use the Nimbus Wraith, and I can either summon him, or I can just give a +3 strength to the entire team. So if anything, we'll do that, drag him over, there we go. A 12 strength for the Fallacy is nuts. I've had it to where it's been higher, but again, it's all about the luck of the cards here. Didn't get my other Dwarf Cassowary in there either to give him another strength boost, which is kind of unfortunate, but we still dropped him within 3 rounds. So not bad. Again, this is on normal, by the way. We're going to run a difficult one. Now, the reason why the difficult challenge stinks is you do get like some more like rep, but I think it's just faster to do a bunch of normals to get your weekly stuff done. And their base HP is 45. At the start of the deployment stage, Elite Duelist cards, they get 1 more card, and they gain a strength increase by 2, like for each round, essentially. So it's kind of like cheating. But we'll see if we can get lucky on this first one. All right, we did get a Havoc Warrior and a Nimbus Wraith, which is nice. We also have the card that we can randomly draw, which is totally fine. So let's see if we can get... Well, I was going to see if I can get the bear so I could draw him, but that's okay. Okay. You just have to transform 5 times. Not a big deal. Let's see if we can get the bear here. No bear, but more energy. I'm actually okay with that. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Draw 2 here. No bear. That is very unfortunate. I'm definitely going to lose this first round. Sometimes you have to lose one to win one. That makes sense. So if anything, we'll do this. We'll guarantee we have a Endurance Knight in our hand for the next round. On the normal mode, it's very easy to 1v2. But on the difficult mode, it stinks because literally their echoes are so strong. Like getting a +2 strength bump for free for all of your echoes is nuts. There we go. Now we get the draw 3. So let's use him. So we may not have the Havoc Warrior here, but we can still take advantage of the Nimbus Wraith. So we can still take advantage of the perk, get a bunch of energy since we had both of them up. Now let's see if we can get the Havoc Warrior. No Havoc Warrior, but we do get the draw card, which gave us energy still. Gives us more energy. We transform 5 times. It's literally round 2. We have Fallacy again. Put him there. This is actually very unfortunate, like, card placements here. So what we could do is drag the Light Crusher. I guess I already had both of my Knights here, which, you know, the problem is that if you drag another card on top of a card that's already had a strength boost, it takes away from it. So you want to use the Knights last. So kind of keep that in mind. So I guess I'll just drag one onto there, and then I can just use the energy to boost their strength up, and then reduce the strength of their strongest one, which is this guy. And then I'll use the skill, so I have the Nimbus Wraith in my hand for the next round, because if I get lucky and get my Havoc Warriors, I can replace some of these ones and just redo the entire stack. So we did 17. Yeah. That's a third of his health gone. But now at this point, he'll be able to summon his 3-star echoes. We have to play kind of smart here. So if anything, sacrifice her, which is fine. Havoc Warrior, use him. We'll weaken his 3 cost. And if anything, I'm just going to give a strength boost to all my echoes here, and I'm going to put my Fallacy in front of his 3 cost there. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, the Knight that he uses, I use on my like electric fire deck, and that Knight is insane. So we did lose 1 echo there, which means we're not going to deal as much damage, but we won it. That's all that matters. 13, that's still pretty good. That's 30 of his health already gone. So he's doing the same thing with the Havoc Warrior stacking. Yeah. Some of these guys are way too smart for their own good. So we'll draw 2. And since 3 of our cards have recharge now, we should be able to get a lot of points back just by using transform. Got a lot of points there. Now I will be sacrificing the strength of one of my cards, but that's okay, because now we get Adurnus Knight, because, again, it's perk. As long as you modulate the echo, you get one of them. So now all we need is 3 points, and we can double up on our strength points here. And if anything, I can just have the Havoc Warrior in my hand for the next round. So as long as my echoes survive, we'll be able to knock him out here on this round. So yeah, even though you might lose the first round, depending on how lucky or unlucky you get, by the second round, you should at least be able to have Fallacy on the field and be able to take this guy out. Yeah, so that was on difficult, by the way. Yeah, like I said, there's definitely some other decks that people use. There's not one that's entirely meta. It's just that one is kind of insane in my opinion, and I really enjoy using it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments of, number 1, the event in and of itself. Personally, I'm liking it a lot, and I hope they develop it more in the future. No, it is a permanent event, so no matter where you are in the story, this event will always be here. But also take note that there are limited time rewards. And number 2, if you're using a different deck, let me know what you're using in the comments. Like I said, there's plenty of different ones you can use. This is just the one that I kind of fell into. In any event, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that bell next to notifications so you don't miss out on any other Wuthering Waves content we have coming out here on the channel. If you didn't know, we live stream here on YouTube and then also over on Twitch. That link will be in the description. I typically stream Wuthering Waves whenever we have a new update, there's a new event, or a new banner is out, and usually there's always drops available as well, so if you want some extra materials, be sure to tune on into the stream. Also, if you want to join my community, hop in my Discord. That link will also be in the description. We have plenty of people talking about Wuthering Waves, other gacha games, and then plenty of other topics including gaming, tech, and anime. Lastly, if you want to help support the channel even more, you can look into becoming a member. Now, if you don't know what a membership is, it's essentially like a Twitch subscription, but it's technically cheaper. You're going to gain access to exclusive emotes, monthly badges, and the main benefit, which is getting access to all of my long-form videos early. So, if you would like some more information, all you have to do is press the join button next subscribe, and I'll give you a rundown with all the details you need. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's been your boy. We'll catch you in the next video.